Hello, in this video we're going to be having a look at some of the platforms that I use to access lots of different AI models for free. Now what's good is a lot of AI large language models are actually open source, but it is tricky if you're working from the base model because historically you'd have to download from GitHub or Hugging Face or something like that and find a way of installing the model yourself. But now with the likes of HuggingChat, Poe and Anakin, which is a new one that I found, you can access these different models, and you can also use the expertise of others with other bots that they've used or that they've built for specific purposes. So we'll have a look at HuggingChat first, which is probably the simpler of the platforms. Now, similar to ChatGPT, you've got your history on the left, but what you can do is you can choose the model that you want to use. Yeah, so here's a list of the models. It's not an exhaustive list, so you can use 3.5, which is the free version currently available. I'm a big fan of Mixtral, but then you've also got the model from Meta, Falcon, which is one I've not used a huge amount, and then the older Mistral model, Mistral 7B Instruct. So if we stay on Mistral, what we can do is we can add a system prompt. So this is similar to ChatGPT custom instructions, whereby you can give context, or you can provide information on what sort of output you want to give. I'm not going to do that, but you can do that if you want to, save you having to type the context every time. But I can just go in, I can copy a prompt. So this is one to just produce a budget process, for example, and then immediately start to use a different AI model, just to give you a window into the world outside ChatGPT. So some of them is pretty good. So definitely have a go and see how you get on with HuggingChat. All right. One of the other advantages you've got with HuggingChat is you can also search the web. You can't do this with every model. Sometimes if you click search the web, it'll come back with an error. So if I click on search the web now and see whether it can go, can you find me recent information and best practices on budgeting, please search the web. We'll try and do a web search. Oh, there we go. Cool. So that one does work. So through HuggingChat, you can also search the web as well, which is really good. And it seems to be providing sources there too, which is fab. So if we then move on to the next platform, Poe, which I'm a big fan of. A lot of people think that Poe is just for creating bots, and you can do this. There's a big button called Create Bot there, which is fine. But actually, you can just go into Explore, and you can have a play around with some of the available models. Now, there is a paid version of Poe where you can access the more advanced models. So GPT-4 is only available in the paid version of ChatGPT. Likewise, you have to pay through Poe. But if you pay within Poe, then it's not just OpenAI you get access to. You get access to the more advanced Claude model as well, if you choose to do that. But if we just go into Explore, and we look at the official models, you'll see that there's a couple here, not just large language models, but also image models as well. So you can use DALL-E 3 or Stable Diffusion to generate images. But if I go into Claude Instant, for example, which is Anthropic's large language model, I can do the same prompt. And again, we've got a slightly different response given. So it's a really easy way to use different models until you get to the model that you prefer the response from. Okay, but as I say, you can create bots, so you can go in, you can choose the model that you want to use, so you can choose Claude, and then you could provide that base prompt for your bot, so that you're not having to give that context every time. You can make sure that it's a bot for a specific purpose, as opposed to a general AI that you're just questioning. All right, so that's Poe. I'm a big fan, and then Anakin, a bit of a new player. Well, I say new player. I don't know how old they are. Similar to Poe, insofar as other users can create bots or apps, I think is the term that's used in Anakin for different purposes. So if you go to the Models tab, you'll be able to see that there's a few of the ones that we know already, but it's nice to see that there's some other ones as well. So we've got Zephyr, which is one that I've not used, or MythoMist. So we could go into MythoMist and we can try it out before adding it to our workspace. So again, really good way of having a look at different models and seeing which one suits you the best. So what you need to do if you want to use it on a regular basis, I guess, is add it to your workspace. But in the same way as with Poe, you've got to pay to access the premium models like GPT-4, is exactly the same in Anakin as well. But again, a new one that I've seen recently that seems to be doing some good things. So that's one that you can check out as well. All right, well, hopefully that's useful. Give it a go. Let me know what you think. Type in the comments if you've got any questions, and go from there. But yeah, enjoy.